All right, guys, I've got to start this episode off with a little mini fetch. That's a complaint about the immersion in FM26. Now, it has been a topic of conversation across the internet and on streams and YouTube videos for a very long time, so I'm not really covering new ground here. However, we find ourselves with 2 matches remaining to go, 7 points ahead of the relegation zone, and not a single news item saying, congratulations, Ituano is not going to be relegated this year. They are safe. In fact, we come into this episode sitting in 7th place with a chance to potentially secure qualification into the second stage, and it has not been acknowledged at all. Welcome back, everyone, to our Youth Academy save with Ituano in Série C in Brazil. I am Mr. Cellophane. If you've been enjoying things so far, please do me the favor of dropping a like down on this video. If you're on mobile and you have the hype option, please do that as well. Want to grow the channel as much as humanly possible here in FM26. How did we get here, you may ask? Because if you remember, at the end of last episode, we were in the midst of a very, very bad spell. In fact, having lost 4 in a row. We bounced back a little bit by holding first place Guarini FC to a 0-0 draw. I think we played excellent defensively in this one. They did have some chances, and Pegarari did stand on his head, but it was against Itabina that we finally broke through and got 3 points out of a match and broke our 5-match winless streak. Victor Reese with a 95th minute goal broke the deadlock, and a 1-0 victory, which we were able to repeat on the road against São Bernardo, a team that we should beat, but we have had trouble beating. Diogo Ianella picking up his first goal of the season, doing a masterful job in the 78th minute, taking a cross and just potting it home. And then we held CSA to a 0-0 draw, or I should say they held us to a 0-0 draw. They dominated in possession, but we definitely had more of the opportunities. So we are taking on a team in Anápolis, currently sitting in 15th place, 5 wins, 5 draws, 7 losses. They have won their last match, but they were winless in the 4 before that. So hopefully we'll be able to get all 3 points. If we do, then we stand a very, very solid chance of making it through. Now, Marlon Jan started before. We've done a couple of other things, by the way, which I should point out. Guilherme, we stripped him of the captaincy, and he has not been in the side ever since. We gave Pegarari the honor of being captain. We didn't even talk to him about it. Now, Gabriel William did pick up an injury. He is going to be out. We really don't have anybody who can play on that right defensive side, with the exception of Marcos Enrique, who is playing a ton for our U20 side. So he is really not, he is match fit, but he's not in the greatest condition. We are going to put him on the bench just in case. Stasio has been pretty good so far. We also re-signed Carlau to a new 1-year contract extension. We're nearly doubling his salary, but he is proving to be a stalwart on our back line. Matias Mancini, we would like to keep him around, but he is not interested in talking to us. He's currently exploring his options. We'll see what happens when he hits free agency, if there has been any interest. So far, no end of contract offers for him, so that is very good news. He's going to continue to be a member of this team until now. Nicholas is coming back from a slight injury. I think it was just a cold, so we'll leave him in the match day squad. He did get the start at our right wing position because Felipe Moranga just has not been doing the greatest job. Gui Miranda has been pretty good up front, so we are actually going to make no changes with the exception of Marlon Jan. He has got to come out. Oop. What did I just do? Oh, Juan Richard, by the way, we did play him, and he actually played decently well. I think only a 6.5 rating. No, I actually managed the 6.8. So Juan Richard, the 21-year-old, did make the start a couple of matches ago, but then he picked up an injury, and he has not been able to feature since. But we are going to bring in Leo Isidoro. He is going to get the start because we are still icing out Guilherme, because frankly, if he doesn't spend another minute on the pitch for us after his performances this year, it will be a minute too soon. So it'll be Pegarari in goal with Isidoro, Matthias, Carlau, and Tazio as our back four. Daniel paired with Jose Aldo. We did try him out as a left wing for one match, but it just did not really click. We want him on the pitch, but I'd rather have him in a position where he's a little stronger. Fernandinho and Nicholas on the wings with Gabriel Rizardo and Gui Miranda up front. We did make a couple of other switches to our tactic in the out of possession. We have made our fullbacks into just fullbacks. They were holding fullbacks before. I think that was making them a little too hesitant to take on their man because they are more cautious. We also have dropped our attacking midfielder into a tracking position, so he'll get back a little bit more, while we have now left, instead of just the regular center forward, it is an outlet center forward for the guy that we are leaving up front. So Annapolis struggling a little bit. Now they are looking to fend off relegation, so they're just outside of the relegation zone right now, so I'm sure they're going to be bringing their A game to this match. Terrible pitch. Look at the condition of that. And playing a 4-2-3-1, which seems to be the norm here. Now, we are currently in 7th. We could potentially move up into one of those top 5 places and essentially guarantee us a spot in the second phase. We're not counting our chickens before they are hatched, but things are looking pretty good for us. This is a pretty nice matchup. Now, we do end the season and later in this episode with a match against Maringá, who are currently in 3rd, sitting on 31 points. Chance to potentially catch up to them, depending on how they do in match week 18 here. Again, hopefully we're not going to need a result in that match to have a positive end to our season. So we are guaranteed safety, if I've done my math correctly, and that is something I am fairly decent at. Basic mathematics, knowing that there are only 6 points available and being ahead by 7, I think we're going to be pretty good, even though Football Manager refused to confirm that for us. One of the other changes we did make is with Jose Aldo's position, that left center defensive mid. Originally off the ball, Fernandinho with a drive, but that is going to miss the target entirely. Originally, he was a wide covering center back, and I noticed that in this area, we were getting our left back, our left winger, and our left central midfielder kind of like right around this corner, leaving this area of the pitch exposed. So hopefully that little change will continue to pay dividends. So far, so good. We haven't really seen anything in the match engine that would, as we're watching these highlights, that highlights that position. But that's also a good thing because we haven't seen anything bad happen in that area in a while either. In control in the final third, Jose Aldo has his pocket picked by Harrison, who gets the ball back, pushing it forward, trying to create some space, takes it toward the byline, stops, turns back, gets around his man, puts it in the middle to Igor Ocasio, who pots it home past Pegarari, and it is Annapolis 1, Ituano 0. Not doing a great job on the road. No matter what we do with... Actually, that was Jose Aldo, so I can't even fault our left fullback, although where was our left fullback? Because that was kind of his guy, if you really want to get technical with it. I mean, right now, the match fairly even everywhere except for on the scoreboard. Looking down at the 2D, it actually looks like we are having a decent game. We are just... We failed to take advantage of the chance when Fernandinho had a pretty good look. Again, could have possibly taken another touch, raise the percentage of that shot by getting just that little bit closer. Ball around the side. Alessandro Faiso again gets around his man. Plays it towards Igor Ocasio. Paulinho, who has been amazing for Annapolis, probably their best player so far this year, especially as far as progressive passes is concerned, unable to solve Pegarari. Let's see what happens. Final third throw-in. Are they as good in 26 as they were in 24? Gui Miranda to Gabriel Rosera, dropping it back. Jose Aldo in control. We're still a little bit more bunched up than I would like. Daniel putting it over the top, looking for Tazio, but too far in front of him, and that is going to end that first half, where, again, it was pretty even, but sadly, we just did not do enough. We find ourselves on the wrong side of a 1-0 score. Now, hopefully, it's not going to hurt us all that much. Hopefully, we remain in those top 8 positions, because I think getting back in there in the final match week against Maringá is going to be very tough. Not impossible, but tough. Rosero pushes it out to Fernandinho. Circles it back. Aldo, Fernandinho to Rosero. Gets past his man. What a move. He takes the shot. Tries to chip Paulo Enrique. And Enrique plucking the ball out of the air to make the stop. Almost taking a good opportunity to equalize in the first couple of minutes of this second half, but sadly just not good enough. Possession, XG, shots on goal pretty even, shots on target pretty even, corners pretty, statistically speaking, match-wise, things are even, except Annapolis, the only team so far able to take advantage of an opportunity presented to them, and Nicolas is being, frankly, tragic on that right-hand side. So we are going to bring Mateus Maya in. We're going to leave Enrique on the bench. Tasio's not doing that great of a job either. He is our corner taker, and he hasn't really had an opportunity. Meanwhile, not a lot happening, so let's see if we can make something happen. We're going to bump our mentality up to attacking. We are also going to bring off Gui Miranda and bring in Diogo Ianella. Hopefully the youngster is going to do a job for us. Fernandinho is nervous, so Lucas Stefanello, he looks focused on the bench, like he's ready to do a job. We're going to bring him in as well. We've made most of our substitutions so far, although we haven't actually made... There we go. 3 subs so far. We still have 2 left that we could make in one final stoppage. I don't know how much we are going to do. Gabriel Rosera having a pretty good match, but unfortunately nothing to show for it so far. Leo Isidoro on a 6.3 now. Tasio on a 6.3. Our fullbacks are just frankly tragic, so we are going to make more changes. Tasio is going to come out. We're going to bring in Marcos Enrique. He's a little nervous, but I hope that he's going to use that nervous energy. Nicholas is relieved as he was looking nervous. That's not great. And Juan Richard, you know, he's not fully fit, but he can get in there. Let's see if he can do a job late on in this match as we are trying to come back and equalize in the last couple of minutes of regulation. But unfortunately, all of the offensive prowess that we have shown off camera, we are not seeing here, and a couple of offsides, not looking good for us as we move forward. I mean, 6 minutes added on, but they are going to come and go, and Annapolis is going to hold serve at home, take all 3 points, and absolutely ruin our day. Not happy with that performance. Where does it leave us on the table is the big question. Not in the top 7 is the answer. We've dropped back down to 10th. We are still 6 points clear, so again, we are safe. I would love to make that second stage. Can we do it against Maringá? I am not overly confident. They have already qualified. Can we pick up one of those Final Four qualification spaces? Come into the last match of the season against third place Maringá, already qualified for the second stage, in 10th place on 25 points. If we win, we would need some combination of ABC, Brusque, CSA, and Floresta to lose and or draw. If they all did it, that would be super fine, and we will make the top 8 and be qualified for the second stage. If we don't get qualified for the second stage, it's not the end of the world. We were expected to be a lower mid-table team. Right now we are mid-table. We could be passed by quite a number of teams. So if everything goes right for everybody else and wrong for us, we could end up in 15th. Either way, we are safe, although Ipiranga is the only team that has been officially relegated from the league, because technically Londrina, Ponte Preta, and Botafogo could potentially leapfrog the teams ahead of them. It's a small chance, but it is mathematically possible. So we are making some changes. The biggest one is Jay Carlos is back. Not really fit, not quite ready, but we're playing him anyway. Nicholas is going to move over to the left-hand side. Bruno Alves coming in as our right wing. Leo Isidoro is going to remain as our left back for now. Tasio is going to remain in there for now as well. So hopefully we can get ourselves a result. Our entire team is not necessarily match sharp, and we knew that coming in, especially with Jay Carlos. Whatever we can get out of him today will be a godsend, because I think Gabriel Rosera only thrives with Jay Carlos in the lineup. We need to have an absolutely fantastic match. Now, the odds of winning before the match were it was like 6-5 at Pick'em between us and Maringa. Hopefully they, since they've already qualified, have taken their foot off of the gas pedal, and it will allow us to get a result and take advantage of a team that really has nothing to play for right now except for maybe a qualification spot. I don't think they can really move up or down significantly. I don't really know how the second stage works. We're going to find out, hopefully, in next episode if we are involved in that. In order for us to be involved, though, we do need to win this match. We cannot lose. We cannot just draw. Does that mean we're going to go balls to the wall and just try to throw everything and the kitchen sink at them? No, because we don't want to put ourselves in a bad position. Oh, God. Jay Vitor. What a free kick. Pegarari just not in position, and the wall did not do its job. Just curled it right over the head of, who is that? Tassio. Oh, Tassio, you're already leading us into trouble. In fact, he's already picked up a yellow card in the first 10 minutes of this match. So it is 1-0 Maringa, but we are threatening. Daniel Tassio into the middle. Jose Aldo's 3 men around him. Tassio kind of working in the wrong direction. Back to the goal, dude. Back to the goal. Up for Daniel. Feeds Bruno Alves out wide. Tassio. Alves makes a run. Gets the ball. Bruno Alves is in behind the defense, and he absolutely balls it up. I've used the word balls twice in the last 60 seconds, not expecting to do that. Although balls to the wall just means, it's an old aviation term. I learned this because the internet and YouTube is a fantastic thing. So they would call the front of an airplane cockpit the wall, because it was the wall of instruments. And back in the day, like the 50s and before, there was big balls that would be at the top of the controls. So if you wanted to kind of push the pedal to the metal, you would push the balls to the wall. And that's where that expression comes from. It is not a misogynistic thing in any way, shape, or form. And if nothing else, you have learned a little something in today's episode on the Cellophane FM channel. So thank you very much for being here. And if you appreciated that little tidbit, make sure you drop a like down below. Also, if you have little pieces of trivia that you think maybe I should learn, you can put that in the comments below as well. Once again, in control, terrible dribble, and we are no longer in control. Julio Rodriguez throwing it over. Leo Isidoro just decides to knock his man down. They're going to play advantage. Edison Nigueba out wide. His cross is going to be blocked. Vitor could not put it on target. He had a perfect chance to pick up a brace, and he absolutely fluffed his lines. We have managed to get a couple of shots off on goal, and Isidoro just picked up a yellow card. So now both of our fullbacks, which has always been a problem in this save, continuing to be a problem, both of them on yellow cards, so they have to be very careful. I think maybe the whole yellow card suspension thing is broken, because I'm sure that our players who have gotten yellow cards or have been in danger of yellow card, of being suspended because of yellow cards, they had to have had picked up a yellow card, yet no suspension. Daniel going for it. Turned over by the keeper. It'll lead to a corner kick. Will we get to see the highlight? Of course, we will not. We are going to go, well, we're going to go attacking, because we need to get something out of this match. How are we doing on the live table, my friends? We are down in 12th. So as things stand right now, if we were to come back and win, that is still a possibility. We've got just a little under 30 minutes remaining in this match. If we were to come back and win, we would qualify as things stand right now, assuming the live table is actually updating live, which it appears to be, because we started the match day in 10th, and now we are down to 12th. 12th place is not the worst place for us to be. Good ball around the side. Jay Victor is in, and he is able to finally put home his second of the match. And Mancini just kind of out at sea there. Jay Vitor able to split the defense, and this has been happening a lot. Yeah, Mancini just lost control of his man again. Mateus Mancini, you know what? Son, you are, that's going to just blink forever, isn't it? Mateus Mancini, you're not going to resign for us. not Bruno Silva, Nathan Silva. He did sign a contract extension. He is now under contract through 2029. Had to give him a bit of a raise, but he has been developing quite nicely. He is probably going to be part of our back line in the future, so we might as well start that future now. Meanwhile, Tassio is just looking absolutely tragic. So Marcos Enrique is going to come in, and we'll take off Jay Carlos because we don't need to risk him anymore. Obviously, the experiment with getting him in there. Oh, what a ball over the top. Julio Rodriguez. Stop him, for God's sake. Holy cow, Marcos Enrique. I just put you in there. You got to do a better job, son. Meanwhile, Jose Alto. Oh, we don't have any more subs because of the way that I did things. Fantastic. Jose Aldo on the 6.3 is going to need to remain out there. Shall we go very attacking? I think we shall. Don't know what other changes we could possibly make tactically. We just are getting run off the pitch. Possession-wise, we're doing okay, but shots on goal heavily favoring Moringa now. Bruno Alves has just been tragic on the right-hand side. Not much we could do about it because we cannot make any new substitutions. Carlisle winning it, though. Silva, Aldo, back for Isidoro. Guys, move it. We are on very attacking, and we're just dinking the ball back and forth. Although we have moved it to the right-hand side. Bruno Alves, redeem yourself, son. Passes up. Marcos Enrique, playing it behind the line. He finds Gui Miranda, who cannot get it on target. It's over the crossbar. Not a great finish. He did have Gabriel Rezera in the middle, although he may have thought he was marked a little bit too much and a little bit too closely for him to be open. But we are in stoppage time in the second half. Moringa is in control, and they are winning this match 2-0. I don't think there is enough time for us to mount a comeback. Can we get a goal? Maybe. Nice steal by Jose Aldo, and then Rezera just takes his time, gets it back. Gabriel Rezera, his pass cut off by Everton Morelli, and Moringa once again in control. Knotted down, though, to Daniel, and that's where the highlight ends. So that's going to be it, my friends. Not the episode we were hoping for. We were on a nice 4-5 match unbeaten streak, and then we come back on camera and absolutely lay an egg and fail to qualify for the second stage. So I'm not sure what that means for us. In fact, we need to advance forward a little bit. We have no more fixtures on the schedule. Let's see what happens if we hit continue. Obviously, we are safe. Tassio has reached the yellow card limit, so he is going to be all the things I was just saying about whether or not our guys get slagged for. Yeah, we've got absolutely nothing going on. So when we come back for our next episode, we will find out what happens next, and we are going to do it together. If you've enjoyed this, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, leave a comment if you know what's going to happen in the second stage, or what happens to those of us who don't qualify to the second stage. Are we just off until the next season? I have no idea. If you do, let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you next time as our Youth Academy Challenge rolls on. It looks like we are going to be spending another season in Série C, which is what was expected, so I'm not too upset about that. But hopefully we can start taking that next step forward for next year and gain a little bit of consistency. We'll find out together when we come back with our next episode. I hope to see you then. Until then, my friends, bye-bye.